There's something about having a #1 hit. Can't wait for the next one. You live in a fast world.
Fast is the only speed I know. They're gonna take it from us.
Take what?
Our fire.
This love I have for you is so big. It's gonna be forever.
Stand by your man.
You'd be Mrs. Dutton.
I would.
Seems we're neighbors. I've acquired the Strafford Ranch.
Well, this is the Yellowstone, and you have no rights here.
Jacob, you can't start a range war.
Range war's already started.
.23, new series streaming December 18th, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. We have a huge event that's going to kick off the top of next year that only the PBC can do. My name is JR of CBS Sports Radio in WFAN New York City, and this big event is going to launch things for 2023 in a fight game in a big way. So thank you to everybody tuning in. Thank you to everybody here right now in D.C. Because on Saturday, January 7th, one of the biggest superstars in boxing is going to fight right here in the nation's capital. He's from right up the road in Baltimore, Maryland. He's a big, big deal. 27-0, 25 knockouts. His name is Gervonta Tank Davis. Big deal. He's going to take on someone who is not any type of tune-up. He's a dangerous man all by himself, Hector Luis Garcia. He's going to be taking on Tank. That is Saturday on Showtime pay-per-view, 9 p.m. If you're here in the area, if you can make it to the nation's capital, you can go ahead and get tickets at Ticketmaster.com as well as Capital One Arena, CapitalOneArena.com. Capital One Arena, obviously home to the Washington Wizards as well as the Washington Capitals. It's not the only big event that we have. Earlier this morning, maybe a few hours ago, you saw that we have announced a huge undercard with the gentlemen that are right here with me, Rashidi Ellis. How you doing, brother?
Good, doing fine.
All right. He's going to take on someone looking to get back in the ring. It's been a while. Moving up, Demetrius, Boo-Boo Andre. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Thank
Good,
you.
absolutely.
Sure.
Jerron, big time, coming out of Philadelphia, right up the road, the next big Philly, right?
No doubt.
That would be you.
For sure.
You got a fight coming up as well.
Mm-hmm.
We see you. Kareem Chukazan. Coming up?
Yeah.
Big time. As we continue to move on, Rashidi, you're going to take on Romain Villa. Andrade, you're going to take on Nicholson. We told you about Chukazan. I encourage you all to get your tickets, Ticketmaster.com, Capital One Arena. This is promoted by GDT Promotions as well as TGP Promotions, distributed by Showtime. One more time, 9 p.m., Saturday, January 7th, only on Showtime pay-per-view. Andrade, I want to ask you, man, moving up, what are your thoughts? What are you feeling? How you feeling?
I feel good. It's a new journey, you know, looking to become a 3-divisional world champion. And so I'm here with, first of all, I want to thank Showtime, Steven Espinola, for giving me the opportunity to be able to become a 3-time world division by stepping up to 168 pounds and showcasing my skill and talent here on Showtime on this beautiful card that you've been saying.
Jamon Nicholson, man, ready to roll. We have seen you go out there and dish out punishment. We've seen you take punishment. What are your thoughts on this upcoming fight?
I really don't have a whole lot to say. I apologize. This is probably the biggest fight of my career. And so I'm going to just keep it short. I look forward to seeing you all January 7th. And it's going to be one hell of a fight.
Rashidi, Villa is on deck for you. You've been inactive. I know you're getting ready. You're eager to get back in that ring on a consistent basis. What does this mean to you to be with a new home and to get things started?
Yeah, like you said, I'm excited to be back. And I heard that that guy's a tough fighter, so glad to come back, in a tough fight.
Okay. Boots, coming out of Philly, man. People running away from you, don't want to see you, don't necessarily give you the offers. What does fighting on this card mean to you and what you can do moving forward?
I mean, first I want to say thank the Showtime, Mr. Espinoza, my team, my dad, family, but fighting on this card is everything. It's my first review, so it's a big moment for me. So Philly not too far down from the road, so the whole Philly gonna come down, the whole tri-state. I'm gonna have a big crowd down here. It's gonna be basically like fighting at home.
I-95 is a straight shot, as you mentioned. Mm-hmm. When you think about the proximity to Philadelphia, you think about some of the names that come out of Philly, big-time boxers. We can go down the list. Someone like B-Hop. What does it mean for you to be in that same conversation already?
It means a lot to me. To put Philly on my back. You gotta be a certain type of fighter to be from Philly, and Philly fighters are dangerous, hungry, and we always find a way to win. And that's me.
I got it. Demetrius, it's been a minute, man. It's been a minute. How does it feel to move up in weight? Why did you move up in weight?
Yeah, I mean, 54, 160. I did my thing there. You don't get any younger, so can't make 160 anymore. So I want to move on into this new journey at 168 and make it happen.
Okay. Damon, you heard him. He said he's not getting younger. When you think about his inactivity, when you think about the opportunity, this came out of your own mouth. You said that this is going to be the biggest fight of your career. When you hear him talk about his age, is that something you're going to take advantage of? What are your thoughts?
That's something I have to take advantage of. He has me by 5 years, and he's seen a lot in those 5 years. So hey, but my youth, I got to bring that to the table.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't referring to my age, by the way, just letting that be known.
Yeah, you said it.
I just say, this is a phrase people say you ain't getting no younger, you know what I mean? Just throwing it out there.
Okay.
Tall, black, and handsome, I'm still young enough.
Okay, all right. Rashidi, you as well, man. You've had some issues that have kept you out of the ring on a consistent basis. How are you feeling about this situation coming up?
I just feel very excited, just happy to be back. Just ready to kick some ass. Oh, my.
Okay, all right. And Damon, I want to ask you this as well. You're from Laurel, Maryland. This is also a big deal for you to be fighting close to home. What do you think about the support that you're going to receive at Capital One Arena?
My home is 15 minutes away from here. The support that I'm going to receive is going to be drastic. I have family in D.C., so, it's going to be a packed house full of my fans and family. It's time to put on a show. It's time to really get my name in the books. This is my chance.
Okay. We want to go ahead and open it up to questions here on the floor to the assembled media.
This is Derek Vaughn from the Chantastic Mile of Baltimore. Gentlemen, fighting in 168, we know who's the king of that 168 division. That's Canelo. Do you think having an explosive night come January 7th is going to give you that opportunity to possibly maybe get a chance at him?
I'm definitely going to push for it.
Yeah, I mean, Canelo's cool and all, but at the end of the day, nothing guarantees the Canelo fight. But sitting here fighting all the other opponents here at Showtime, that's Caleb Plant, that's David Benavides, that's Charlo, of course, as well. Those are the fights that we're looking for. But yeah, like I said, Canelo's cool, but those are the big fights that could be made here amongst each other.
All right, James Bell from the Boxing Source. This question is for Rashidi Ellis. Rashidi, given that, you've had, some time to, kind of like wait until, getting out there in the ring and kind of like going through what you went through before getting to this spot, like, how is it to like be finally able to step in the ring on January 7th?
It's good, to get to stay active, because like you said, I'll be fighting once a year, once every 2 years. So now I get to showcase my talent, but the more I'm active, the more you get to see the best of Rashidi Ellis.
Damon, you had some health issues. How you doing, man?
How you doing?
About a year or so ago. Are you now 100% healthy? Please,
yes, sir. Yeah,
talking to Mike.
My apologies. Yes, sir. I'm now 100% healthy. So it's time to really go full-fledged on. But yes, sir, I'm now, yes, 100%.
Hey, how you doing, Demond? Mike here from DCMikeTV.com.
What's up, Mike?
What's up, Demond? Obviously, you fought a few months ago. You got a knockout victory. I want to say, I don't know if it was April or June. It was somewhere in August. I'm sorry, it was August. You got a knockout victory, and after that fight, you've been obviously, pushing for Benavidez heavy. That fight wasn't able to come through. What's it like fighting a guy like Demetrius Andrade? How does he, how do you compare him to Benavidez as far as, stylistically, money?
This fight with Demetrius is honestly, if you're looking at it from a boxer-wise, this fight is bigger than 10 times bigger than Benavidez or Caleb Plant or whatever, But if you look at it from a financial point of stance, of course, that fight would probably be a little bit bigger, from the fans. But for me, this fight is bigger than, it's like fighting Canelo, so it's definitely big.
And one more, do you know if you're getting any TV time for this fight?
I damn sure hope so. Yes, pay-per-view. Okay, you heard that, opening fight of the pay-per-view. Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Zane from Fight Hub TV. This question's for Demetrius. How would you feel like finally moving over and fighting on Showtime pay-per-view?
Yeah, I fought Showtime long time ago when I fought Willie Nelson, and we're running it back. I know Showtime's a great place to be. I have my journey through the boxing careers and other networks, but we're here now to, pretty much I'm writing my own chapter. So we, everybody behind the scenes, and like I said, Showtime is Stephen Espinosa give me the opportunity to come back here and put on the show and do what I do best.
Question is, excuse, this is Jay Hardcore Boxing News. It's for my man right there, I'm sorry, y'all. Just
Demetrius
Andrade. I know your name and watched you for a long time. I apologize. My question for you, man, is do you feel though that at this particular point in your life that you're going to be able to make it all the way up as a championship fight against Canelo?
I don't know what you mean by that. I don't understand what you're saying by being all the way up. Like I mentioned earlier, besides Canelo, there's other great fights that could be made at 168 pounds. That's what I'm looking to do here. So yeah, I'm already in that position for that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
This question's for Jerron. It's Juan Marshall from Pro Am Fight Talk. Your last few fights, you've been outstanding on Showtime and everything else. People actually know who you are, and you're not just a fighter in this nation, but your name travels across the world. So now, do you feel that when it comes to championship fights that you should be or already have had that chance?
Most definitely, I feel like I should have been, had my world title shot, and I've been calling for the chance for like 2-3 years now, and like I said before, I've been ready, and they not doing nothing but making it worse on themselves, by making me wait longer.
Hey, Gervonta, Mike here, DCMikeTV.com. You fought in DC a handful of times. I want to say 2017, 2016, maybe 2015?
Like 3 or 4 times, yeah.
All right, how's it feel to fight back in DC again?
Like I said before, it feels great. Philly not too far away. Philly only about 2 hours, 20-30 minutes away. So it's gonna be like me fighting at home. It's gonna be a beautiful night. Explosive night. And me looking for that knockout. And looking good doing it.
All right. And obviously everybody wants you to fight the big names, Keith Thurman, you know, this guy, that guy. The guy you fighting, I can't pronounce his name. I'm not shooting a blank, but how does he, I think he's the #2 guy in the Ukraine, if I'm not mistaken. He's undefeated. How does he kind of, you know, compare against, I guess, your previous opponents?
Not gonna lie, I'm not too sure. You know, I'm pretty sure he's a great fighter. You know, he from Ukraine, so you know they got that European style. So you know he probably gonna try to make it hard. But you know, like I said before, you know I'm looking to be victorious. You know, being smart, putting on a beautiful show, you know, getting a knockout at the end of the night.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Corinne Chukazan is his name, #4 ranked.
He's got one. He's going to ask one, and then you can go. Yep.
Derek Vaughn, the champ. Derek Vaughn, the champ out of Baltimore. This is for all 4 of you. What is it that you think edge that you have is going to give you the advantage come January 7th? All 4 of you. Go 1 through all the down the line.
I mean, just experience, you know, my amateur pedigree, you know, Olympics, just being in there with great fighters and watching great fighters. I think my IQ, of course, and just my talent and skill overall. But yeah, you know, that's what I feel like. And yeah, and the Most High, of course, is on my side.
You know, same thing we said. My advantages is, you know, having faith in God. You know, having faith in God. You know, I'm talented, strong. You know, I work hard. I do everything I'm supposed to do. You know, I'm always one step ahead of these guys. So that's another reason why. You know, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, me, just my great boxing ability, my IQ, and my speed is gonna pick him apart.
For me, my advantage is #1. Hard work always outweighs talent when talent doesn't work hard. And a few years ago, you know, I worked so damn hard that I almost killed myself. You know, so that's no question about me working hard or nothing like that, but it's about me working smarter. You know, working smarter, believing in myself, #1, believing in my team, and, you know, just going out there and do what I do best, you know, and that's box.
Damon, right here. Are you in camp with Tank?
Huh?
Are you in the same camp with Tank?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Every day?
No, not every day. Not right now. Not right now. But we train. We basically doing the same thing.
Okay. Yep, we're gonna pause for some photos.
Hey, guys. I'm down here in the first row. And over in the middle.
Okay, we're gonna take a pause and we're gonna get to the main event. Welcome back to everyone here in Washington, D.C. We're going to continue with the second half of the press conference, and this is the huge, big part of the press conference for what is going to take place on Saturday, January 7th on Showtime pay-per-view right here in the nation's capital at the Capital One Arena. It's the main event. It's the gentleman here to my right, Gervonta Tank Davis, 27 fights, 25 knockouts. That is a knockout percentage of 92%. He's going to be here right down the road from where he grew up at the Capital One Arena. You can obviously check it out on Showtime pay-per-view. You can pick up tickets at Ticketmaster.com, CapitalOneArena.com. He will be opposing someone who is not a tune-up. He's going to be opposing someone who has been reputable here over the past year, surprising everyone in the sport of boxing to be in this position. Hector Luis Garcia, going to be moving up to take on the champ for the WBA Lightweight Championship. Saturday, January 7th on Showtime pay-per-view. I want to bring up the president of Showtime Boxing here, Steven Espinoza, to come through and make some words.
Thank you, JR. It's been an exciting year here in 2022 for Showtime Boxing. We saw Jermell Charlo become the first undisputed champion at 154. We saw Errol Spence collect another belt. We saw Gervonta in another highlight reel knockout in front of a record-setting crowd at Barclays Center. We've got another unified champion in Stephen Fulton. We saw breakout performances from Sebastian Fundora and Tim Tszyu. And we'll end the year with a really intriguing matchup on December 17th of two rising young stars, Michelle Rivera and Frank Martin, and that's on Showtime December 17th. But as strong a year as 22 was, I think 2023 will be bigger and better. And there's no bigger way, there's no better way to kick off 2023 than with Gervonta Davis, the hottest young star in the sport. Now, there's a lot of talent in the lightweight division. Many talented fighters, some of the most skilled fighters in the sport. But there's one fighter in the lightweight division that stands out above all others, and that's Gervonta Tank Davis. Simply put, Tank draws fans and does business like few other fighters in the sport. In his last few fights, he's sold out arenas in Baltimore, Atlanta, Los Angeles, and New York City. And I'm sure we'll be adding Washington, D.C. to that list very, very shortly. There is no other fighter in the sport, no other fighter doing what Tank has done. There's no other fighter selling out arenas literally coast to coast across the U.S. The biggest boxing gate ever at Barclays Center, one of the top 4 gates of all time for events of any kind. There's no other fighter doing that. Over his last 6 fights, Tank has averaged over 15,000 fans per event. That puts him in a category with probably 2 other fighters. Errol Spence and Canelo, those are the only fighters who are doing that here in the U.S. Tank's knocked out 17 of his last 18 opponents. 3 of his last 5 fights have been one-punch knockout endings. A champion in 3 different weight classes, headlining his 5th pay-per-view. There's no one else in the division doing what Tank's doing. Simply put, he stands apart from every other fighter in his division, and he's among the top 2 or 3 in the sport. With apologies to Ricky Hatton, there's only one Tank Davis. This will be his 13th appearance on Showtime, and we're proud to have been part of his journey. Whether you're a hardcore boxing fan or you're new to the sport, Tank is the one fighter who I believe is must-see TV. Now, while Hector Luis Garcia hasn't been on Showtime 13 times, there are few fighters who have made such a big impact in such a short amount of time. As a last-minute replacement, Garcia was a 10-1 underdog against highly touted Chris Colbert. Some people had Colbert as a 40-1 favorite. But Garcia pulled off a huge upset, a dominating performance. He followed that up with another dominating performance, winning the world title. And with those 2 performances, few fighters in the sport have had as strong a year as Hector Luis Garcia. and he deservedly is in the conversation for 2022 Fighter of the Year. He's big, he's tough, he's got a strong amateur background, and he has demonstrated power, and above all, he's not intimidated by anyone, no matter what the odds may be. To be honest, with a big matchup for Tank being talked about for later this year, most fighters would have taken an easier fight. One who hasn't been on such a roll, pulling off big upsets. But that's not who Tank is. No tune-up fights for Tank. He's looking for the biggest fights, the biggest challenges. And because of that, we're kicking 2023 off with a bang. Now, one of the hallmarks of Showtime Boxing is the strength of our cards. Top to bottom, meaningful, competitive, high-quality fights. January 7th is no exception. A card stacked with good names, top names, and meaningful fights. In the co-feature, we have Jaron Boots Ennis, one of the most talented fighters in the sport. He'll be fighting a title eliminator as he pushes for a world title. At 29-0, 27 knockouts, he's also must-see TV. With Tank and Boots on the card, we have two of the top young fighters, most exciting young fighters in the sport. But there's more, also on the card. Rising contender Rashidi Ellis, 24-0, 15 KOs, takes on probably his toughest fight to date in Roymond Villa at 25-1 with 24 knockouts. And Demetrius Andrade, making his debut at 168 pounds, taking on DMV's own Damon Nicholson. It's a can't-miss card stacked with good names, top to bottom, meaningful matchups, high-quality fights from the start of the pay-per-view telecast all the way through the end. Tank, Boots, Rashidi Ellis, Demetrius Andrade, all on one card, holiday present to boxing fans. This is the late Christmas present. In my opinion, it's as strong as any pay-per-view card that I've seen in recent past. Of course, we'll be supporting the pay-per-view with an avalanche of wall-to-wall content, coverage on Showtime social media and YouTube, including the Emmy Award-winning All Access, which will take you inside the lives of these two fighters, Tank and Hector, premiering December 30th. We're thrilled to be here in DC. I know DC's a great fight town. I know the entire DMV is going to be supporting this event. I know Philly will be supporting this event. The Dominican fans will certainly be supporting this event. It'll be a big, big night, the biggest since Mike Tyson fought here over 15 years ago, and you guys cannot miss it. We'll see you January 7th.
Thank you, Stephen. With that being said, we want to start things off by asking trainer Bob Santos, typically more so in the background, an opportunity to be trainer of the year, if you'd make some opening comments.
Well, first off, we want to thank Stephen Espinoza, Al Heyman, Louis DeCubas Jr., and Gervonta for this opportunity. We're really thrilled to go against, to me, pound for pound, one of the best fighters in the world, and so we're excited about the opportunity.
Okay, awesome. Well, now I want to invite you, Hector, to come on up to the podium. Felix Figueroa is here. You can swing on up. Okay. And you go ahead. Opening comments. Opening comments. Some opening thoughts.
¿Ah? Ok. Primero, quiero darle gracias a Dios por todo. Gracias a la compañía PPV, Showtime Boxing TV, a Hemo, Luis de Cuba Jr. por las oportunidades. Me siento extremadamente muy orgulloso por las oportunidades. Estar aquí me ha costado mucho llegar. Por eso, por la misma razón, le seguiré demostrando al mundo y a toda mi República Dominicana y al campeón Gervonta Davis el por qué estoy aquí. Gracias a mi equipo de trabajo por el gran trabajo que estamos haciendo, incansable para estar en óptimas condiciones el próximo 7 de enero de 2023.
Well, first of all, I would like to thank God for having given me this huge talent for boxing. I would also like to thank Showtime and everybody. I would like to say also that I'm very happy to be here. I have worked extremely hard to make it here. I am sure I am going to put up a good show for the world, for the boxing fans, for the Dominican Republic, and that's what I've been doing lately. I would also like to thank Gervonta and my team because all my team has gotten me ready to be here and to be ready for the January the 7th fight.
Well, Calvin, nothing new here. Been here, back in DC, right down the road. What makes this fight different? Why take this fight?
It's important to us. We're trying to take the hardest fight that everybody say we don't take. And Hector, he's coming to fight. He had 2 impressive wins already. He's a world champion. You know, to me, to do a lot of talking, taking easy fights. We never took a fight that we was not told what we had to take. We take any fight that they give to us. This is the fight that we asked for. I always tell youngin', the road to success is through DC. When we was young, we had DC. You know what type of party we're gonna put down. Can't sleep on him. He's coming ready. His manager, coach, Santos, we already went through him once. And we got another task again. It's gonna be a great night that night. Everybody should pay for this fight, see this fight. It's on. Because my little young got a lot on his mind. He gonna make y'all remember him. We don't do no talking. We gonna show y'all. So come the 7th, be ready. Because y'all gonna get an event that night.
All right, thank you, Calvin. Champ, back home. I'm gonna slide out the way and let you say some words here.
I ain't really trying to get up there.
Go ahead, rock and roll.
I just want to say appreciate everybody for coming out. Another event, man, that we got to get to. You know what I mean? So I've been working hard. I definitely appreciate everybody that, you know what I mean, came out and today. And the undercard is stacked. I ain't gonna lie. It made me feel like I ain't even know there was so many boxers that was gonna be on the card. So it's a surprise to me, you know what I mean? So I feel like I'm back in the amateur. So I definitely want to call out Boots for sure, one of the young lions that's coming up, for sure. Yes, sir. Boo Boo, you know what I mean? Another lion. What's your name, bro? Rashid, for sure. You on the card too? Facts. So it's definitely a lit night. It's definitely a lit night for boxing. We got Damon. We got Damon on that mare. I ain't gonna lie. Coming back to DC, it was like, you know what I mean? I had to, you know, make sure my guys and, you know what I mean, people that paved the way for me was on the card. So I had to, you know, put that word in for, you know what I mean, and Lamont Peterson. You know what I mean? They definitely on the card for sure. So definitely give them the opportunity to show out. So definitely appreciate y'all for, you know what I mean? Jaleel, you on the card? For sure. So little young Jaleel on the card. So we coming back home to Boogie, baby. You know what I mean? So I appreciate everybody for coming out. Once again, we're going to go back into training camp. We're not sleeping on this guy. I know we got 2 fights lined up, but this the main one that we focus on because, you know what I mean, it's been a lot of talks in the boxing world, and I ain't really trying to do no more talk. I'm ready to, you know what I mean, go through everybody, you know what I mean, that's in my way, so, or in that division, that 135 division, so, but, you know what I mean, this Garcia is the first person that we got to focus on, so we got to get through him first, so. Again, I appreciate y'all for coming out. See y'all January the 7th.
Well, Hector, this question is for you. When you hear everything that people say about what the past year has looked like for you, this opportunity. Do you still feel that you're being overlooked in this situation?
Cuando usted ve todo lo que los últimos comentarios que la gente ha hecho sobre usted, ¿usted siente que de alguna manera no le han prestado la atención que se merece?
No, no, eso no me preocupa para nada, porque yo soy el peleador y soy el que subo allá arriba y sé lo que tengo que hacer. Basta con yo prepararme al 200% para estar ready para el día de mi pelea.
No, I'm not worried at all by the things that people say. I know who I am, I know what to do, and I'm the one who does the fighting. I know that my preparation has been good enough, and I am ready to give 200%.
Okay. Calvin, knowing that you have 2 fights that are set up already, and you think about...
We got 1 fight, that's Hector. Don't want to talk about that one, period. Don't even ask me a question. So people out there, please don't ask me a question. Hector is on my mind. He's been on my mind 2 months before we even knew we had him. You know what I'm saying? He's bringing a lot to the table. Everybody's starting to really look at him now. They know he's the real deal. But like I said, the road to success is through D.C. We are in D.C. Hector's standing in front of us. So we know what we got to do. I feel sorry because we have so much pain, you get what I'm saying? And we need to release it before we go to that next level. And Hector is in the way. Simple as that.
Okay. Bob, your thoughts in regards to training for this fight coming up? What has been different, especially moving up in weight?
We haven't done anything different that we've done in the past. That said, you know, again, everybody really should tune into this fight. It's going to be an all-time classic. Again, like I said, Gervonta, pound for pound, to me, is one of the best fighters in the world. At this point in time, he's the best 135-pounder in the world, in my opinion. I've been in this sport for a long, long time. I've been around a lot of champions. And this fight kind of reminds me, I worked with Joel Casimir, one of the greats that fought on Showtime many times. And Casimir versus Corrales was a classic, and I'm expecting that kind of a performance. And I think Gervonta is going to bring out the best in Hector, and I know Hector's going to bring out the best in Gervonta.
All right. Champ, being back here at home, you laid out a lot of the folks that are going to be on the undercard. You started here in D.C. You got this big fight on the 7th of January here in D.C. What does it mean to you to be back home and not be opening things up, but to open opportunities up for other fighters?
I think this is important. You know what I mean? It's definitely important. You know what I mean, to be able to open up, you know, ways. I mean, well, yeah, ways for other fighters that, you know what I mean, they showcase their skills. You know what I mean? I think that's very important to be able to come back, and that's what it's for, bro. You know what I mean? Once you, you know what I mean, had that what I want to say, like you make your stamp, your mark in the sport. It's about coming back and try to, you know what I mean, show other people, you know what I mean, it can happen. So showcase that skills at a high level. You know what I mean? I definitely, I always try to push to have like a lot of up-and-coming guys that's coming after me or even on the same, just try to get them on the card just so they can showcase their skills. And you know what I mean, it's enough for us all to win. You know what I mean? I feel as though that's a major goal for us to, once we make it out, definitely come back and show other people that it could be done.
Okay, all right. Well, Hector, this is for you. You heard that all of the focus is just on you, nobody else. We know that you're going up.
He been talking crazy too.
I'm gonna ask him about it. You're taller. You're moving up. We all know about Tank's power. Do you feel that you're going to go into this fight, not just have a height advantage, but will you have a size advantage, period? Are you ready for the power?
Héctor, usted, podemos decir que usted dijo que se enfocaba, se enfocaba solamente en sí mismo, en su trabajo, no se enfoque más nada. Usted es más alto, tiene más aptitud. ¿Usted siente que eso puede ser una ventaja que puede ser explotada a su favor?
Bueno, yo tengo sí la ventaja del tamaño, pero yo me adapto al ritmo de mi rival. Yo sé que es una tarea dura, porque el tanquecito es un hombre. Yo sé que el tanquecito es un campeón, pues, libra por libra, y porque yo no puedo hacerlo.
Well, I do know that I have an advantage because I'm taller, but at the same time, I know that I can also adapt myself to the rhythm of my rivals. And I know that Tank, it's a hard opponent, it's going to be a tough rival, but I know that I have what it takes.
Okay. Tank, I'm going to let you get the last word in response there. Before we get to media questions, also want to ask you, being here in the nation's capital, your profile is large. You're a global superstar and celebrity. DC, different type of a town. Is there anyone in particular that you would love to see come out to this fight at Capital One Arena?
Shit. Yeah, everybody. I ain't gonna lie. To be back in DC and fighting Ari, I got them on the card. The people that I wanted to come, and that's Lamont and Anthony.
Okay. All right. We're gonna open questions up and take questions from the media. Go ahead.
Hey, Tank, off to your left. This whole journey, dream come true or well-executed game plan?
Say it again, I'm sorry, my mind.
Your journey that you're on right now, dream come true or well-executed game plan?
I ain't gonna lie, it ain't a dream come true. It's just me trying to get over that hump. That's it. I don't think that, you know what I mean? I'm not there yet, so I feel as though I gotta get over this hump. That's what it is.
Tank, this is Derek Vaughn from the Charmtastic Mile of Baltimore. How you doing, sir? Tank, we talked about when you had the homecoming about 3 years ago. I want to know, because I know about you, what is the inner motivation for you for this fight? I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about, what is the inner motivation for Tank Davis to take this fight?
No disrespect, but to come get niggas. That's it. That's my motivation. Ain't no talking, man. I'm trying to get them.
James Bell of the Boxing Source. Actually, this question is for Coach Calvin. Now, you've talked about, being in there in camp with Tank, and that he has a newfound focus, particularly for this particular camp. Like, what is it in this camp that stands out of what Tank's doing in comparison to anything that he's done in the past?
He's awake. He's coming into the man that we've been training for years. He controlling everything now. He's starting to understand it. He's putting on his big boy pants. We understand that this fight is the main fight to the other fights. When I talk to him, I'm not talking to little Tank anymore. I'm talking to the grown man Tank. For being with him for so many years, it's amazing to see a kid from a man to a grown man. And this fight is everything. The show, stop playing with him. Give him his props. They still don't want to give him his props, but that's good. We from the mud. We like playing in the mud. The 7th, come and watch this. We putting everybody on notice. Everybody.
Tank, Gene Wong from the Washington Post. You've mentioned how much you're looking forward to fighting back in D.C., a city that has such a rich boxing history. I mean, you're the headliner at Capital One for the first time since Mike Tyson. DC's also hosted fights with Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Riddick Bowe, Lamont Peterson you mentioned. What does it mean to you to follow in that line of just some of the all-time great fighters to fight in DC?
it just, I ain't gonna lie, it felt good to be back home. You know what I mean? Just like you said, amongst the greats, just be able to come back home and put on a great performance and put on a great event, things like that. Be able to get everybody together and, you know what I mean, have a great, I say party, you know what I mean, because that's what it is. You know what I mean? We grind in the gym. A lot of people don't see that. So come them big events, it's time to show out. You know what I mean? And I think that it's important that, you know what I mean, when you be able to come back home and be able to bring everybody together and there's no drama and things like that, I think that's important. That's what we doing. You know what I mean? So coming back home is definitely, it's a big mark for me. You know what I mean?
And Mike here from DC Mike TV. Calvin, how you doing, Calvin?
How you doing,
Tank,
bro?
how you doing? I ain't seen you in a few years. I've been knowing you since you were about 17, 18 years old. You've always been a quiet kind of guy. Do you like this role right here, like as far as you getting all this attention plus money, or would you rather just have the money and kind of be below the radar?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it's a lot that come with it. I'd rather get my money and just chill. You know what I mean? But it's a part of sport. I'm part of the sport, so I'm just ready to shut everybody up. You know what I mean? All the talking that's going around, that's floating in the air. I'm ready to put them, you know what I mean? Shut their ass up.
And I got one more. I've been talking to a lot of people about this fight, and you know, most people would say, you know, they would look over Hector, but a couple people do not look over Hector. Why do you guys think that a lot of people are looking over Hector? Obviously, you know, he's an Olympian. He beat, you know, Chris Colbert. Obviously, he's I think a champion at 130, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, why do you think a lot of people are overlooking Hector?
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Nah, but it's two fighters that I think it was this year or last year that was saying that they was gonna knock somebody out, and it was like a stepping opponent, and that was Teofimo and Chris Colbert. You know what I mean? And he both of them wound up getting touched up. So I always knew not to. You know what I mean? When I was coming up in the pros, and we all signed the Al Heyman. We was fighting, you know what I mean, ducks and things like that, and a lot of guys, prospects was getting clipped because they was going in there and, you know what I mean, just throwing and not even thinking like I'm actually in a fight, you know what I mean? So I was always them guys that stay focused and know that everybody in front of you is a threat, you know what I mean? So we know that Garcia coming, you know what I mean? Not to say I watch him. I watch him a lot. You know what I mean? I watch all my opponents. You know what I mean? Even down to training. I know what they're doing day in, day out.
This question's for Tank. This is Edward on the Ropes Boxing. I wanted to talk about you put yourself in a situation where you wanted to help the next generation. You talked about that at the press conferences in Baltimore, that you've always wanted to help those that are coming behind you. I wanted to talk about a young man, Jaleel Hackett, who's here from DC, who's been a part of your training camps in the past. First got to meet him at the age of 16 in your camp. Why was it important for him to be on your card?
We've been knowing Jaleel since he was, you know what I mean? So it's definitely important to, you know what I mean, have a guy like him, because I'm not too far from him. Like, I was, you know what I mean, coming up just like him. You know what I mean, in DC, and coming in rooms like this when damn near Adrian and Lamont and Anthony was, all of them was, you know what I mean? So I'm just doing what, you know what I mean? I feel as though it's right. I feel as though that's the way to do it. You know what I mean? And he's the next young lion. Just as well, we got Stacy over there. We got Mia. We got a lot of young people that's coming behind me. Damon. Just everybody, just, you know what I mean, a lot of guys that's coming behind me, and, you know what I mean, I just want to be able to get them the platform. I think that's right.
Hey, Tank, this is Matt Paris from the Washington Times. Stephen was talking over here. Sorry. Stephen was talking about kind of how maybe other fighters would have just skipped this fight and go past it. What do you kind of make of that? Do you think that separates you in this sport, that you're willing to take?
What you mean skip it?
Like, just you could have fought Ryan Garcia instead in April. Like, what do you kind of make of that you are willing to accept this challenge right away?
No, it was just because I don't want to say, but it was for different reasons. You know what I mean? It was for different reasons, and we just had to take him. You know what I mean? So.
All good? All right. What we're going to do is ask you guys to stand up and get some photos together.
Face off, you meant.
Well, let's start.
Yeah, guys. We'll do just the fighters first.
Saturday, January 7th, Capital One Arena, Washington, D.C., the WBA Lightweight World Championship. Gervonta Tank Davis, Hector Luis Garcia goes down on Showtime pay-per-view Saturday, January 7th, 2023.
Right here in the front row, right here in the front.
Sign contract, y'all. Sign contract.
I got it right here in the front row, right here in the front, man.
And see if we can bring the other fighters, okay? Tank, we're looking at the fight card with you too, okay?
Guys in the back, we in the back, we can't go in the back there. Stay right where you are. Right here. Where's the line? I got it right here for Amanda.
Party time!
Right here.
Party time!
Take it.
Party time!
Do the camera in the back now.
Yes, that I-95 flavor, y'all. I-95. Yeah, go ahead.
Guys, break out a scooch in nice and tight so we can get everybody in. Look at this card tag brought together. Great job, man. Okay, guys, thank you very much. All right, everybody's got to look right here for a man. Right here for a man. Thank you. Get me straight. All right, now we're back to see Anthony. Say hi to Anthony.
There's something about having a #1 hit. Can't wait for the next one. You live in a fast world.
Fast is the only speed I know. They're gonna take it from us.
Take what?
Our fire.
This love I have for you is so big. It's gonna be forever.
You'd be Mrs. Dutton.
I would.
Seems we're neighbors. I've acquired the Strafford Ranch.
Well, this is the Yellowstone, and you have no rights here.
Jacob, you can't start a range war. Range war's already started.
1923, new series streaming December 18th, exclusively on Paramount+.